On May 12th, 2021, Target... Oh, fuck it. Oh, fuck the formalities. Y'all know what's going on here. Card games are officially out of major retailers. Yes. Y'all probably never thought this day would come. Hell, I never thought this day would come. The last thing I ever thought was major retailers would care enough about any of this to actually notice there was an issue growing. But yup, it happened. Target said no more trading cards, and last week, Walmart said no more trading cards. And even though I'm going to assume y'all know what's going on here and probably want alcohol as much as I do right now, let's just do a short recap. So, for the past 6, 7, 8, probably longer than that, for a while now, the collector's market for trading card type products has been going up substantially. Now, many people would expect, since I predominantly talk about Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'm talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Mostly no. The big culprit was Pokemon, which exploded, and sports cards have also gone through the roof. Now, I haven't followed this enough to tell if Pokemon led to people doing it with sports, or if sports was kind of doing its own thing and the two just kind of became intertwined, but essentially, these are the things that have been going insane. Now, many people blame Logan Paul because he did like a booster box opening of Pokemon Set 1 and pulled the Charizard, and Logan Paul is a complete asshat. I think everyone knows that, but this really isn't his fault. Like, this was all building. Like, it was happening regardless of him. He just happened to be the guy who noticed it was becoming a thing and capitalized on it. However, with every new person who hates him, we're one step closer to someone getting him to say his name backwards so he'll go back to the fifth dimension. So keep hating him, people. Let's get that shit done. But so basically then, everything kept getting crazier and crazier. If you followed the online prices, literally everything Pokemon was going up. Now, for the most part, it was Charizard who was really going up. But if you followed the market, if you followed everything, rather it was through big hype sets like Shining Fates and Hidden Fates, or even just full art hollows, all these things, everything was going up. My one question, why Charizard? Why? The perfect Pokemon is right there! Buy Totodile out! Screw Charizard! But yeah, so this thing basically just kept ballooning out of control. And like all these big like news sources and all that, we're taking it seriously. Like Forbes did articles on Pokemon. Time Magazine talked about Pokemon. News channels were talking about Pokemon. Like, it was taking the world by storm, and at first it was kind of fun. Like, it was genuinely entertaining to watch. Now, I should probably explain. I don't really collect Pokemon that much. I mean, between Yu-Gi-Oh! And Gunpla and all the other things I'm into, like, the wallet can only afford so much. I do have a small vintage Pokemon collection, but I'm not going after the Charizards. I'm not going after the super high tier rare stuff. It's just stuff I think is cool. So for me, I was kind of just watching all this happening and being entertained. It was kind of fun escapism from the pandemic, and I think a big part of this is the pandemic and people not really having lives or anything to focus on, so they needed something to fix it. But essentially just we all kind of watched it and we all were having fun with it. There's something kind of cool about watching your thing get taken seriously like this. It's like when actual news stories were talking about how in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, spoilers, Falcon becomes Captain America, for the two people who didn't know that. You know, a lot of news stories were like, what? They replaced Captain America? There's something just kind of cool about seeing the mainstream world care about your things. And this did help game stores get through the pandemic. Being able to offload a lot of their old Pokemon shit to people who were stupid enough to think random Crystal Guardians packs would make them money is kind of good. So I'm not going to sit here and say that this was all negative. Also, we all kind of played a part because we were all kind of watching and enjoying it. But then things started getting bad. You started hearing stories of stores selling out. You started hearing stories of lunatics standing outside the store all night waiting for it to open. You heard about them harassing employees. You heard about them scaring away children from buying things, trying to cheat children out of their products, trying to do this, trying to do that. Everything just progressively got worse and worse. You had like people walking into McDonald's and buying like every Happy Meal to get Pokemon packs, and none of those cards wound up being fucking money, because why the fuck would they? You had the incident where Giant Man-Child, aka A-Drive, proceeded to like buy like 50 like 100 Happy Meals and like got shit for it. It was like, I'm just trying to make content. Every time a YouTuber says the word content, I want to punch them in their fucking fat head. Anyways, so yeah, this was all starting to accumulate, and we all started to notice it was becoming a problem. Now you were hearing issues of fights. You were hearing employees at stores being threatened. It was all getting crazier and crazier. So what started happening? Trading cards were no longer out by the toys. They were being put behind the service desks, and you had to go up to them, and there were limits, and there were lines, and there were security having to enforce things. And store managers now all of a sudden had to learn and understand this shit. That's right. They did it. They forced the world to be like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime! Think about that, people! They did it! We win! We live in the anime, except, like, no crazy hair, big anime titties. But yeah, so, then this was happening. But even that couldn't get it under control. Because, like, you kept hearing about... Because the fights continued and people got worse. No one had enough fucking sense to figuring out they were digging their own grave. And you can't talk to these people. I several times got into, like, conversations with people who were into all this. And I was trying to explain, like, yeah, where this is probably not worth your time. Because if you remember the Beanie Babies in the 90s or the comic boom of the late 80s, like, it all just kind of lasted for a little bit. And then as it got crazier, people just couldn't keep up and it died. And you'd always get into like, oh, world's biggest media franchise, and oh, Target and Walmart will never stop selling. Well, they did. Why? Because this is not the business they want to attract. These stores do a lot to make themselves seem family friendly. They do a lot to be family oriented. Normal people and like sell groceries and like just normal store stuff. Rather you think they succeed or not, or rather you think that their business practices and models aren't always right, that is another conversation. But they're not here to cater to man-children who want to buy children's card games so they can either sell them on eBay for twice as much or sit on them for the next 12 years of their lives. Like, they can't cater to this. Like, it's insanity. Like, I'd have to go to a Target or something early in the morning, and, like, I would just see, like, a line of 30 people, and just normal people creeped out. Like, the stores can't risk having that, and they can't risk having it that there are fights breaking out in the parking lot over this shit. That is why they have to dump this. They are willing to dump a good chunk of immediate sales to help their long-term goals, and that is how we got here. A Target or a Walmart cannot cater to your needs as a vendor or a collector. They have to cater to the needs of everybody. Whereas a smaller store can cater to you. The problem now is because you basically forced the major retailers out, you have to deal with smaller store issues, which means they have to do markups. They might have trouble getting product. Okay, probably not, because now the major companies got to really play ball with small-time stores. You have to deal with all these things now and ask yourselves, was it worth it? The answer is no! Because now, you've ruined it for everybody. Y'all fucking blew it. Because now, kids won't have easy access to this stuff. Kids get Pokemon packs by being like, if I'm good, can I get a pack of Pokemon? I wasn't, but can I get it anyways? Because you don't want me to talk about why you and Dad are fighting and what that weird long thing is under the bed? That's how they get into this shit. That's what does it. They're not going to randomly go to just some random hobby shop. That is what happened with comics. Newsstands died out. So therefore, kids did not have regular access to comics, hence why the comic industry is almost dead. Do I think the trading card industry will die because of this? Realistically, no. But whatever uptrend or uptick things were on because of all the attention, it's dead. And y'all got no one to blame but yourselves. So have fun having all those cases of battle style or whatever the fuck that are just gonna sit in your basement for forever. Because guess what, people? If everyone has this shit and the demand never goes away, your retirement fund you think you're sitting on ain't gonna be worth jack shit. So thank you all for ruining this hobby for everyone. I know this video got a little intense and serious, but I've been sitting on this for a while and just kind of wanted to see how things would play out, and well, here we are. You could give me your thoughts about the issue below. Do you think there's a way that stores will start selling again? They probably will in a year or two. Tell me that below. And as always, click to like, click subscribe, and join me in the future for more positive things.